My sister is dead. There's no more music in me. No more dreams in me. I've lost the one person on earth who understood me.
Lenny has just lost her sister, who is her best friend and means everything to her. And so she's grappling with that idea of grief and what that feels like. And, one of the things that I thought was so interesting is that she talks about, people die every day. How do people do it? How do they go on? Maybe talk a little bit about what we see her go through.
That really stuck with me, especially, through filming, especially when you're coping, with Lenny, she's coping with her sister's death, but there's a certain tragedy to Bailey's death that I think is just also even more heartbreaking because of how out of the blue and just sudden it was. And it really, I think, just goes to show how precious life is, because genuinely it really can be taken away at any moment. It's kind of the thing that I think we block out a little bit because it's really scary to think about that, but it's just, it's kind of proven time and time again. And I think I was able to tap into that grief and that sorrow, but also I think I kind of liked to imagine, because Bailey and Lenny were best friends, Bailey kind of being this guardian angel figure for Lenny, who's guiding her in the right direction and, wants her to be happy and wants her to continue to live her life, for Bailey, to just remember that life is a celebration. And I think that's where the kind of hopeful element plays into it all.
No one at school gets it.
I don't think it's possible to get it unless you're in it, like we are.
Toby is Bailey's boyfriend, and he has this connection with Lenny because they're the only two that kind of can share and understand this same level of grief. I thought that was one of the things that's so universal to everybody, that you don't maybe fully ever understand something until you're going through it. So talk a little bit about that.
The thing about grief is that it's a real burden on the person experiencing it, but it can also be a burden on the people around that person, which is kind of like the tragedy of grief. It's like you lose somebody, all you want is to be surrounded by other people and to feel less alone, but it can be really uncomfortable, and it can really push people away, and people don't know how to be around death. So I think, Toby feels like Lenny is his only hope and his lifeline. And so that's a lot of pressure for Lenny. And maybe not a fair amount of pressure, and not really kind to, saddle somebody with that level of pressure, and maybe not helping her kind of overcome the grief and move forward.
He's a new boy in honor band.
He plays guitar in the film. You play it in real life, and talk to me about how the song you played for Lenny came about.
Yes. I was just actually looking at the guitar that I've had since I was 16, because I've played all my life, and so it was really neat to finally get a chance to do it in a movie. That was a first, and I've done it in theater before, but this was definitely a big leap. I think that what I love about the discipline of music is that it's a very personal exploration in discovering new languages of love for me, and I've treated it mostly as a diary my entire life, and so it's something that I can really tap into with Joe, especially when it turns out that a cornerstone of the romantic arc of their entire relationship hinges on music and the expression of writing for each other. And Grace and I have a saying, where words fall short, there's always the jam. And I really do believe in that. It's the same reason people refer to jazz as social music. We understand each other through these vibrations. And so I think there's a way to hold all of it, the grief, the joy, the laughter, the crying, through music.